your block, boy. Bass beating down your block, boy. All I hang around is block boys. In my pocket, that's a knot, boy. Think you hot, but you not, boy. Bass beating down your block, boy. Bass beating down your block, boy. Bass beating down your block, stunting.
All right, what's up, y'all? I kind of wanted to talk about some stuff. Starting with, I've been to like basically give y'all context. I've been going on Twitter, lately. Where's my shit frozen right here? There we go. So I've been going on Twitter. I've been on Twitter at least for the second half of this year. I've been on Twitter, scrolling through. I've somehow, I don't want to say somehow, because I don't know how, because it's just, I'm saying like somehow I got my algorithm filled with comic book stuff and comic book movies and all that stuff, all that medium in my Twitter feed. Only because I follow those accounts, and I follow a lot of comic book accounts, especially there's a whole like fan base on Twitter for Snyder stuff. So how I think of it, and I feel like a lot of people should view their social media like this, is that whether it's Instagram, Twitter, even YouTube, but I'll just take out YouTube and just say Twitter, Instagram. You should view that as a reflection of you. So whatever you like, whatever you follow, is essentially a reflection of you. So when you do that, when you like a bunch of stuff and follow a bunch of stuff, your feed, the algorithm will look at that feed of what you liking. You're like, oh, you like this? All right, let's give them more of this. So if you're liking a bunch of spiritual, positive stuff, that's gonna be more in your feed. If you're liking a lot of memes and skits and all that, that'll pop up more in your feed. If you're liking degenerate stuff, the degenerate stuff will pop up on your feed. Like, for example, if you're liking a bunch of photos of women, beautiful women and models and all that, that's all going to pop up in your feed, especially your explore page. So that's same thing with Twitter. So whoever you follow and like and all that will essentially happen with your feed also. And this is just game into how, if you're looking at your Instagram or your Twitter and you're like, what the fuck happened? I don't even like how my Twitter's looking. Just unfollow all the degenerate stuff or whatever it is that you don't like. Unfollow that. Refollow it. Or not refollow it. Oh my god. Follow it and then unfollow those pages. Unfollow those pages and then like all the stuff that you actually like. So like for me, movies and comics, comic book stuff, even the comic book movie discussions and all that, I like that stuff because I'm into that stuff. I'm into movies and TV shows and all that, so that's gonna pop up on feed, and I follow certain pages that I like, and those will pop up on my page, and then even those people who like and retweet stuff, it will pop up on your thing. So I follow a bunch of Snyder accounts. I don't want to say Snyder accounts because it makes it sound like Zack Snyder has a bunch of accounts, but I follow the Snyderverse fan base because I am myself a Zack Snyder fan. I really love his movies. I was gonna say TV show, but I think he only has like one TV show that you work with Jay Oliver. Um, so I like a lot of his movies, and I still gotta watch Twilight of the Gods. I am a disservice to the fan base and to Zach for not watching Twilight of the Gods yet, but I am making sure by the end of this year I watch it. But yeah, I love Rebel Moon. The direct I actually like both versions. I like the PG-13 version and the director's cut, but I like the director's cut more. I love Army of the Dead. I love Man of Steel, BVS, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then even that whole Snyderverse, which is Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman. Yeah, I think that's the Snyderverse, and then even the DCU movies, which is like, Wonder Woman, or the DCU stuff, which is like, a lot. Some people didn't like Birds of Prey. I liked it. I thought it was cool. It wasn't the Birds of Prey that were, or this was it Gotham Sirens or something like that. But or no, is it Gotham? No, Gotham is the Gotham Sirens, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and Harley Quinn, and then Birds of Prey is Batwoman, that chick that was in the movie, and Cassandra Cain, right? I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure on the Birds of Prey part. I know the Gotham Sirens is for sure that. But even I like Birds of Prey. I loved Aquaman. I loved Shazam. And then even the latter half, like, I didn't like a lot of movies after all those movies, but I liked Shazam 2, but Shazam 2 could have been better. I really love Shazam 1, but Shazam 2 could have been better. I really liked that Black Adam. I don't want to say for some reason, but a lot of people didn't like Black Adam. I really liked Black Adam. I look past the Rock being the Rock and all that, and I really like him as Black Adam, and I really love the story. But a lot of people didn't like it. I mean, if it was done under Zach's regime, I think it would have been an even better movie. But studio fucked up. They keep fucking up. But I liked Aquaman 2. There's some stuff to it that could have been better. And some stuff that could have been cut out, like the whole in the beginning, the, what was it, like 2-minute, 3-minute whole not even introduction, but intro with Aquaman being, it was mostly just being Jason Momoa in the beginning, then Aquaman. So I feel like they could have cut that part out, but like the rest of the movie I really liked. It's a really good visual movie. And then it could have had Aquaman be a little more serious in it. I feel like it could, but I still liked it. I really like Blue Beetle. The Flash movie. I'm mixed on the Flash movie. It's a really good movie, or not a good movie. It's a really good story. Really good story. I didn't like the suit. I didn't even like the suit they had Ben Affleck be in. There is no Cyborg, which they were like, literally, if you're saying this is after Justice League, how come you only show Wonder Woman and Batman, but no Superman and no Cyborg, which is it's crazy. And I know the original Flash movie they were gonna do was 10 times better than what we got. I'm not even gonna. That whole Flash movie was like it was a disaster. Like story wise, cool, but how it was executed and all that, bad. So yeah, so I really like those DC movies. Some I like others more than others. I think I would say the only one I could say I really hated was Wonder Woman 1984, the second Wonder Woman movie, and that, oh my god, that was terrible. That was a terrible movie. Yeah. I don't care what nobody says. Everybody try to say, "Oh no, Birds of Prey was bad." Oh no, it's worse than the Flash in my opinion. At least the Flash has a good cohesive story and it's at least somewhat done well. Wonder Woman 19, and there's no offense to Gal Gadot and Gal Gadot, was that Kristen Wiig? Like those the actors in there, it's not their fault. It's Patty Jenkins and the story, like whoever wrote the script. That was terrible. And I think it was Jeff Johns, and I don't know why she got Jeff Johns to write. She should have just kept the same writer that she had for the first movie, at least. Like, but yeah, so that movie was terrible. That was garbage. And I think I could say that's the only one I could say I would not rather not watching it. And maybe Flash is up there. Maybe Flash is up there too. But yeah, oh my god, that Wonder Woman movie was terrible. Yeah, but anyways, back to the Zack Snyder thing. I love Watchmen. I love 300. I love Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is the first, I think. Was it yeah, I want to say Dawn of the Dead was my first introduction to Zack Snyder. And even then, I didn't even know who Zack Snyder was until Man of Steel or BVS. But then again, I was a kid, so I didn't really care about. And it's no offense against directors and even towards Zack, but I was a kid, so I didn't really care about directors and all that. I just saw, oh, this actor is in this movie. I really like him as an actor in this movie. And then I just look at the movie like, oh, this is a really cool movie. So that's how, I was looking at movies as a kid. So it's not until I got like older, until like was it middle school, high school, or no, I would say high school, because even middle school, I knew of some. I would say middle school was the start, because like I started to know a couple directors, like know of them, but didn't really until high school. It was like, oh, okay, whoa, okay, this director did this. Oh, wow, okay, this is how it works. But yeah, Dawn of the Dead was my first introduction, and it's such a good movie, but it fucking scared. I don't want to say scared the shit out of me, but like creeped me out in the sense of like even at that first opening of how like the zombie apocalypse in that world started, it's just like, yo. I'm like, yo. And then now you're telling me they're trapped in a mall together, and they gotta find a way out, and they're surrounded by a bunch of zombies that know that there's food in that mall, or think they know there's food in. That movie kind of gave me anxiety in the sense of like with zombies, but that was really a really well done movie. I liked. And then I, like further on, even Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is such an underrated movie. They need I don't think a lot of people really talk about Sucker Punch how they should. Like Sucker Punch is really, and I really I know, at least especially now finding out, I had a feeling that like there was more to it. I need a director's cut. I don't give a fuck. I need a director's cut of that movie, because that movie's so good, bro. So, and since by the way, if y'all don't know, follow my YouTube, bro. Kozy's World, KOZY' space WORLD. Go follow Kozy's World. I have a bunch of reactions to like trailers and music videos and music and all that, but I'm about to start posting my movie reactions, and I'm telling y'all now, I'm gonna react to Sucker Punch, because I already have a list of stuff that I'm wanting to react to, and Zack Snyder's like movies is on there. So I already did, and I was kind of doing the DC stuff, but I wanted to also like, like not watch all of it in one thing. Like I wanted to like one like I wanted to space it out basically. So I'm actually looking forward to watching Sucker Punch, because Sucker Punch, I've been, and especially seeing the people, and like I said, and this is funny how it wraps around back to the Twitter thing, from following these some of these fan pages of Snyder. I don't want to say fan pages, but these Twitter accounts that are fans of Snyder, because I'm following them. There's been like a bunch of gifs of Sucker Punch and scenes for Sucker Punch and all that. I'm like, bro, I gotta watch this movie again. This movie, I remember watching it as a kid, and I understood what Sucker Punch was about, but it was just more like, yo, this is fucking crazy. Like she transports herself into her own. It's like her daydreaming, and then her transporting herself to that world, and then seeing how crazy that shit was, bro. It was like a fucking metal, like, awesome action sci-fi of Alice in Wonderland, but like on a twisted adult version of it, or something like that. Like, that's how I saw it. So her going down the rabbit hole, she's like going in through her mind and daydreaming this shit. So, but from saying all of that, the reason I brought all that up is because to explain what I'm gonna talk about, and what I'm about to talk about. And look, this is the Sucker Punch fucking GIF right here. Hold on, let me see if I can blow it up. Fuck, I can't make. I probably gotta do this. Where's the boom? Bruh, she's fighting robots. She's fighting fucking, what's it called? She's fighting big ass giant samurais. One with a little fucking Tommy gun, and two with like with swords. Bruh, that shit was tough. But the reason I'm watching, or not watching, fuck him. The reason I'm bringing all this up and talking about this is because recently, on December 6th, before my birthday, which was the 7th, David Ayer's Suicide Squad, or I would say, yeah, his Suicide Squad movie, did it drop December 6th? Suicide. It was in 2016. On what day, though? No, this was August 5th. So I think this was the movement that they were doing on December 6th, which is release the Ayer cut. We like, and these are the same people who were like, release the Snyder cut, which shout out to them, and I was part of that movement too. Because I remember, and I tweeted out, I remember going to go see Justice League, and I remember hyping it up to my friends, because at the time I wanted to go see a movie, and then that movie was coming out. I was hearing a lot of good things about it, and seeing like behind the scene photo video and all that. I'm like, bro, I want to see this movie. I want to see this movie so bad. Like, we gotta go. This movie is like gonna beat Marvel. It's the best. This is the movie that's really like, if people didn't think Man of Steel and BVS is really gonna get them interested in DC, then this movie will. And it's not to say BVS or Man of Steel didn't get people interested, and Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman. Like, people were already interested. I was just saying, like, this Justice League movie is like, was gonna really change the game. Like, this was gonna be better than the Avengers, which it was, just not the theatrical version that came out in theaters. It was the Snyder cut that was the original thing that was supposed to come out and be better. But yeah, Bro, I wanted, bro. I was so pissed. I remember coming out of that theater like, what the fuck did I just watch? I had to apologize to my friends about it, and I'm just like, yo, what did I watch? There's no way this is the movie that I was sold in a trailer about and told, like, yeah, this is no. It was just like, no, something was wrong with it. And I remember, I don't know if it was that day or during that whole month like after it came out, that I was finding out that it wasn't Snyder's original vision. The studio cut it up. Josh Whedon, who was supposed to come in and complete the rest of it because of the unfortunate incident that involved, Snyder and his family, and he had to take a leave. Josh Whedon was supposed to finish it. He wasn't supposed to change anything. He was supposed to cut out anything. And the fact that he left because of a family, some family issues that he was dealing with in the sense of his daughter passed away from suicide, and the family had to go, mourn and deal with that. That this man in the studio, Josh Whedon in this Warner Brothers studio, decided to cut up that movie, change it up. Let's brighten it super bright because Snyder's movies is super dark, and we want the bright Marvel fucking look to it. And it's like, bro, y'all are trying to be Marvel so bad and not realizing you don't have Marvel. You're in DC. You're in DC, bro. Like, and I'm not saying every movie's got to be dark and like dark and fucking brooding and all that, right? Which to me, I'm just saying that because of people saying that. I don't believe that. Those movies, like, Man Still Gave You Hope and all that, like, I don't know. It's like you shoot stuff at nighttime and you have some dope fight scenes and make it realistic, and apparently it's dark and broody and gloomy and all this other bullshit fucking words they use to make it sound like something it's not. So they cut up that movie, made it bright, put a bunch of jokes in there, and all this other shit, and then even they had to do reshoots. So when Henry Cavill came in, he was shooting a movie for Mission Impossible where he had the mustache. So they're like, he can't shave it because he's already under contract for Mission Impossible. So they just filmed him with a mustache and they had to edit around it. And oh my God, that was terrible editing. Like, I know y'all could have hired somebody better. I don't know if it was them, the editors, or the studio not giving the editors time to really clean it up nice, but it was, oh my God. And that's the first opening scene. You find out that he has a messed up mouth. I'm like, so that's how I knew it was gonna be. That's how I knew it was gonna be a fucking trash, like dumpster fire. Because I saw that, like, he turned around, because I remember it was a kid who ran up to Superman after he saved, like, people from a burning building, and the kids are Superman turns around, and they're filming on a phone camera, and his mouth is just messed up, and I'm like, oh. And then Darkseid wasn't even in the movie. Steppenwolf looked terrible. Like, it was bad, like, CG editing for a bad guy. And it was just like, oh God, this is terrible. This is trash. So these people ruined a movie that I was looking forward to and liking. And they did the same thing with BVS. They did the same thing to BVS, because I remember I wasn't around that time in the sense of the like finding out why it went that direction until later, and I found out there was an Ultimate Edition. I'm like, what the fuck is the Ultimate Edition? Like, I'm like, is this what is this? Is like, you know, Man of Steel and BVS together? Is this like, or they put Man of Steel, BVS, and Wonder Woman together or something like that? Is that the ultimate? And then I find out, no, this is the director's cut of BVS that they cut out and has all the scenes in it that has context, that puts context to everything and made the movie improved. And I'm like, wow. Like, I like BVS, but I saw some stuff that was missing, and I was like, what's going on with the story? And you're telling me, I remember watching it. And especially recently, I rewatched it, and BVS is such a good movie. I think that movie's super overhated. I don't think that movie deserves the hate it gets, and I'm hoping one day people appreciate BVS for what it is and how good of a comic book movie it is. Like, even like all these Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, BVS, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and Suicide Squad are all a really good movie adaptations. It's just that BVS, and especially it's the first introduction to Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman. Oh my god, yeah, that movie's up there. I think Zack Snyder's Justice League and BVS sometimes fight for number one for me, but I think BVS might have the extra leverage to it. And I'll say that they ruined Zack Snyder's Justice League, and so these people right here put out a campaign for release the Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut came out. Oh my god, I was so happy with that day when it came out, bro. I stayed up, watched it, fell asleep, woke back up, and then rewatched it to get everything back in, because the night it dropped, it was like super late, and I was like, bro, I gotta watch this. And then I fell asleep, and then woke up, watched it again, and I was like, bro, this is actually out. This is amazing. Like, and it showed like the studio was wrong. Like, you were wrong. You were wrong for cutting all that stuff out. Like, you cut all that out for what? Like, for what? You cut out all that greatness, all that extra stuff for what? And then especially that you cut out Ray Fisher's scene where he's literally the heart of the movie, and he's the most important, like one of the most important characters. Not even like he's the most important characters in that movie, and Cyborg is one of the most important characters in DC period, especially on Justice League, when he is on Justice League. And it's so funny because these people will say, "Oh, you're not a real comic book fan. He was a Teen Titans." Yeah, he was a Teen Titan, and he's a Justice League member. Like, I think he was one of the first ones that was like both a Justice League member and a Teen Titans. And even if he wasn't Teen Titans, or even if he wasn't a Justice League member back then, he is now. So we all recognize him as a Justice League member because of what's it called? I know there's some comics with him in it, like especially the New 52 stuff, like especially with the Justice League War. I love the New 52 stuff. I think people overhate on that. Like, I even like their designs on it. Like, Jim Lee does such a good job with the designs of the heroes in New 52. And as much as I don't like what Jeff Johns did with by helping sabotage the DCU, I do like I really do like his runs on Justice League War and all that, like, and especially Justice League, like that shit's tough. But yeah, like, if you like Justice League War, this has a lot of elements in it from Justice League War. It's just like on a longer story format. Like, I don't understand. Like, people will like stuff from the comics, but won't recognize that stuff from the comics is in this movie, especially stuff from comics and cartoons is in Man of Steel, BVS. Like, people will just look at it and be mad. I don't understand people's, like, is people mad because whatever idea they had of what they want from from DC is not what they got with the DCU because of something they had in their head. You know how many times I've seen people say like, oh, like for like, what's it called? Doctor Strange on the Multiverse of Madness. I know there's people who are mad because they had an idea of what they wanted for Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness and they didn't get it. I.e. me. I can admit that there's stuff that Doctor Strange 2 wasn't what I was expecting and made me kind of not like it. And then I went back and look at it and I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping too much. There's a lot of stuff in here I really like, and that shouldn't stop me from saying it's a good movie. Like, but I don't know. Some people just, I don't know. Some people, I don't know. Like, I don't know what their issue with the DCU, and then I don't know what their issue with Zack Snyder. Because some people, and I'm not saying this is everybody, but there's people out there who have a problem with Zack Snyder, especially on Twitter or on Twitter, and they'll try to say, "Oh no, I like Zack. It's not that. It's the fans, or it's some of his movies." And it's like, I understand if you don't like that stuff, but how they come off sometimes is, "Oh, you don't like Zack in general." Like, oh, weird. And it's like, is it because you're and this is like, I think this is mostly the comic book nerds, and then also the people who are trying to get that blue check mark or try to get paid off their tweets, or because of, they see that hate. Because nowadays hate if you hate on some, you're gonna get a lot of clicks and views and all that. And I'm not gonna knock the people who are doing it because of, that's what they want to do, but at least admit it, or, I mean, well, they're not going to admit it and you're going to do whatever you're going to do. But yeah, man. Yeah, it's just that, like, I don't know what, and maybe it's the hardcore comic book fans. And it's like, even if you're a comic book fan, how can you not recognize that there's a lot of elements from comic books that's in these movies? Like a lot of them say, "Oh no, Zack Snyder's movies, he just hasn't made a hit." And I think a lot of them. I forgot to add this. I think a lot of times it's clickbait. I think it's a lot of just rage bait and clickbait. Like, but yeah, a lot of times they're just disingenuous because they're just like, "Oh well, Zack doesn't have any good movies." Any good movies? So you're just saying all of them are trash. Any good movies? So you're saying 300's ass. You're saying Man of Steel's ass, BVS's ass. You're saying his Rebel Moon movies is ass. And people online try to say his Rebel Moon movies are ass. And it's the best thing that's competing against, other than Dune. I would say other than Dune, because Dune is on fire right now. But it's the best thing, better, that's actually beating Star Wars right now. Like, let's be for real. Rebel Moon is not ass. Now, I can see if you don't like the PG-13 version, cool, that's understandable. But if you didn't even take the time out to even watch the director's cut, the rated R version, and you're saying it's still ass, I can't respect it. And especially you can't articulate why you think it's ass, and it's not even a good, valid reason in the sense of, like, actually putting it down. Oh, the cinematography, this, or the writing here, or whatever. I don't know. I think a lot of people are just being disingenuous and are hating on Zack because Zack has a fan base that actually likes his work and actually like the Snyderverse and wants the Snyderverse to still exist, and they have a grudge against those fans, so they're like, oh yeah, let me shit on the things that these fans like just because these fans made me mad. Like, but I feel like I'm ranting. But the reason I'm bringing all this up is because, and I'm keeping all that in too. The reason I'm bringing all this up is because, like I said, the David Ayer Suicide Squad is another example of what BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League went through, which was it was the studio hired this person. The studio hired David Ayer. David Ayer, did what every movie, production does, is, hire their actors, get your cast and crew, start filming, all of that, right? And I remember, and this is one of the ones I remember vividly, even along with Justice League, where, I was looking at interviews with Will Smith, because it was not a a lot of people are Will Smith fans, especially me. So I'm looking at interviews with Will Smith talking about this. Margot Robbie is on her, starting to climb up. So I'm like, okay, so yeah. So Margot Robbie's in here, and I think this is after Wolf on Wall Street, I want to say. Because this is definitely after the movie with her and Will Smith did together with each other. So I'm like, okay, she's pretty. She can act. I want to see it. And she's Harley Quinn. Oh, I gotta see this, right? So, all of that, and then I'm looking at the characters. I'm like, okay, so we got Deadshot. We got Harley Quinn. We got Captain Boomerang, Killer Croc, Diablo. We got Katana. No, not Katana. What's her name, bro? What's her name? Fuck. I don't want to say. I hope I'm not saying this wrong. Let's see. Suicide. And then there's an extended cut for Suicide Squad. That's how you know. But yeah, Joker in there, played by Jared Leto. Rick Flag. Oh, his name was El Diablo. Oh, it was Katana. I was right. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my fucking. David Harbour was in here. Common was in here. I do remember that. But David Harbour was in here? That's okay. Interesting. But yeah, and then you have Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. So and then mind you, David Ayer isn't some regular schmegler, director. This man did Training Day. He did Bright. He did which one is it? D Fast and D Furious. He did which one? He did Fury. He did Beekeeper. Recently Beekeeper, if you really want to know. So I'm like, but even before Beekeeper, all those movies I just mentioned, I'm like, okay, this man has a good roster. Oh, and In a Watch. He did In a Watch, which is one of my favorite movies. And I'm like, bro, this man's gonna kill it with Suicide Squad. I can't even wait, right? So, I'm looking at all the press stuff. Comic-Con comes around. They have their little directors panel of the DCU. And then they have their Suicide Squad panel. And then I'm like, and then I see the Comic-Con Suicide Squad trailer. I'm like, bro, this looks like it's about to be crazy. I like the tone of this. This it has its own twisted tone, because you're dealing with you're dealing with the Suicide Squad, but you're also dealing with what's her name, bro? It's June Mooney, but it's June Moon. Let's see, June Moon Enchantress, right? You're dealing with Enchantress, right? So So I'm like, all right, I could already see how this is gonna go. Like, it's gonna go crazy, especially with this lineup. All right, cool. And I'm like, bro. And then you see Ben Affleck's Batman in there. I'm like, oh, because it makes sense because you got Joker, you got Harley Quinn, you got Deadshot, and you got Killer Croc. That's 4 Batman villains already. And I love that it introduced the DC's villains already. Like, you already got a stack of villains. So you already had Zod from Man of Steel. Then you already got introduced to Lex Luthor and Doomsday in BVS. One of them you got Ares, and that poisonous doctor lady. And so Suicide Squad, you get these guys, and I'm like, bro, we're already getting a bunch of villains, introduced a bunch of villains in this universe already, and I like it. It's not like we gotta wait like Marvel, where it's like we gotta wait a long period amount of movies to get to the point, and it's like, bro, we're already getting there. Boom, bow, bow, bow. Right, and I'm like, so that only means the superheroes, because we already, and especially in BVS, you already get footage of Aquaman, Flash, the Cyborg. So you're already getting and then you got Flash show up, make a cameo also in Suicide Squad. So it's just like, bro, here, like, boom. All right, we're already like the DCU is on it's starting to run. It's not sprinting yet, but we're running. We're doing like a jog into a run. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I love it. Then the movie comes out, and I go watch it, right? I still and this is how you know David Ayer has such a good movie, because this the theatrical cut, the studio cut down. They made David Ayer cut down. They told him to brighten it up. They told him to brighten it up. They gave him notes and all that to put in his to add to his movie and all that. They cut out some stuff because the movie is supposed to be intentionally rated R. We're gonna get into all that. I'm just trying to set up the visual for y'all. So the movie was intentionally gonna be rated R. Just recently, David Ayer came out with a tweet saying his movie was, the studio wanted a comedy and his movie was a drama, and you could see that from this theatrical cut. You can see the tone of where, like, even though the comedy and all that was and the brightness of it was overshadowing the drama part, you could tell from in the drama part that it was much more to it than what the studio put out, or had the studio had put out. And we're gonna go through all the tweets and all that so I can show y'all, but yeah, bro, I wasn't disappointed as much as I was with Justice League, but I was disappointed because I'm like, this isn't the movie I was sold on from the Comic-Con trailer. Especially, why is there a bunch of neon colorful stuff to it, and then especially this from the tone of the trailer, and you look at the cover. This doesn't look like a cover that David Ayer would put out for his movie, or a poster for his movie. That doesn't look like. This isn't something. Maybe I could see him probably choosing this, but still, even the font, the colors. Where's the main one? This one. I remember seeing this, like they put out the trailer and then they put out the poster, and I'm like, this doesn't look like something David Ayer would choose for his version of the movie, at least from the Comic-Con trailer that I saw. So I knew something was up. Also, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on? Excuse my French, but I'm like, what? This does not look like something David Ayer would choose for a, like. So I knew something was wrong. I didn't find out till years later, up to like, obviously up to Justice League, when they started doing the Justice League Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut stuff. That's when I found out David Ayer's movie got butchered. And I would say I already had an idea that it got butchered, but I would say up to this point that up to the Snyder Cut stuff is when it confirmed for me. And I'm like, all right, yeah, there it is. And I feel so bad for David Ayer, because he couldn't come out and say anything. And then I think even on Twitter, he came out on Twitter and said some stuff, but he had to stay quiet the whole time and just take it. And I'm like, bro, that's so fucked up. I'm like, that's so fucked up, bro. He had to sit there and take it, and then his movie wasn't even his movie. So without all that saying, man, we're gonna go through. I have a bunch of bookmarks, and we're gonna go through, and because there's a lot of information that I kind of want to go over and at least read. And this will probably be a YouTube video. So I just want to go over and just read and view, like the David Ayer stuff, because this stuff made me it made I feel bad for him. And then it's just like the fact that studio fucked it up. Bro, that whole studio not just sabotaged these movies, but sabotaged this whole universe. And that pisses me off, because it's like, why are you, it's like, I get, you want to give studios notes and all that and ask to change it up, but like, why would you sit there, or not even sit there, why would you hire these people and they're going to give you a great film that you hired them to do, and I'm not saying, you can't tell them, oh, we're trying to go for this, we can't really have this and this in here and all that, or we're not trying to go, like, I get it, there's a certain thing you want to go about it, but if you're hiring these people to do these movies and it's a really good movie and you're cutting it up and it turns out to a worse movie, and you don't even bro, BVS and I would say, because I don't know for Justice League, but I would say for Justice League also, BVS and Suicide Squad, y'all didn't test screen it after you cut it. You cut it up. First of all, you didn't even test screen the original version to see if people would fuck with it. Then on top of that, you didn't test screen after you fuck with it and cut it up and butchered it all up and Frankenstein stitched it up in your own vision. You didn't even test screen it, and you just put it out, and then you didn't even let David Ayer know. I don't even think they even let Snyder know. And then they had to find out later, and it's like, bro, why? Like, y'all trusted him with Man of Steel, and y'all couldn't trust him with BVS. Y'all couldn't trust David Ayer with Suicide Squad. Like, I don't understand, but the thing that makes me mad is, and it's nothing against James Gunn, but years later, now y'all want to give creative rights, or not creative rights, but you want to give creative freedom and make these directors CEOs, and now y'all want to trust them, but y'all didn't want to trust the ones before you. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. And no wonder y'all losing money, because you don't even want to listen to the fans. You don't even listen to your consumers and the people, the audience members that are willing to pay for this stuff and want it, and you're like, y'all that lets me know y'all ego is really in front of all this, and you would think, like I said on Twitter, you would think these people would be greedy and want the money, but instead they don't. Their ego is such in the way. Like, it's so that's so like, look at this. Oh wait, why they put this music over here? Because it's, why would you, what? Why would you do that? Put the actual Comic-Con footage if you're gonna do all that. Oh, here we go. Small details on the haircut. Original Suicide Squad movie. Harley Quinn. With Quinn, we see a lot more of her as a doctor with Mr. J, and which I was expecting we were gonna see more of. But when you watch the Suicide Squad movie, it's barely in there. It's just like a flashback or like a little montage of how she became the Harley Quinn, and it's like, bro, y'all just rushed through that. What the fuck? A lot more emotional and physical attraction to others, mainly Deadshot, and more abusive yet lovable relationship to Joker. Enchantress, a lot more background story. The background story with her was quick as fuck too. I think most of them had a quick as fuck background story. A lot more background story scenes, and actually, seems like a good villain. You meet a lot more of her in the body she's living in. Deadshot, more interaction with Batman and details regarding his backstory in new scenes. Captain Boomerang, still funny, set way, more badass, tad more Flash. Katana, she's almost a completely different person. She felt so much more in the haircut. See? El Diablo, a lot more scenes and actually never died. That's crazy, because in the movie he died. At first I think he disappeared in a sense, but they actually killed him. I didn't really kind of put that together. Like, I kind of assumed from how people reacted, but I thought of like, oh, maybe he just used all that power and just went somewhere, and then we'll be back in the future projects, if there was ever going to be future projects. The Joker. Okay, now Joker, we see a completely different side of him compared to the theatrical cut. We're talking abuse to Harley, murder, Batman torturing a family in front of their loved ones, kidnapping people to get Harley back, and after the Suicide Squad, working with Enchantress, having some heat with Harley and Deadshot, having a gun to Deadshot head and bombing the squad into darkness, not to mention no grill but fully metal teeth, a burnt face, and a hell of a lot more sunscreen time. I said sunscreen. A lot more screen time throughout the movie. Leto's is easily one of, if not the most accurate Joker to date, and his Joker was ruined by Warner Brothers, literally misplacing, cutting, badly editing small pieces of his scenes into the film. Jared Leto, along with David Ayer, were screwed over the most. That's crazy. And then, you know what's crazy? Before I get into the in conclusion, a lot of people will sit here online. These nerds will sit here online and say, "Oh, Jared Leto's Joker is garbage. That was trash." Yeah, because you think that way because maybe we weren't given enough, and the studio fucked over the movie and fucked over David Ayer and Jared Leto, and yeah, and like how they said, literally misplacing, cutting, and badly editing small pieces of the scene is gonna make it seem like his Joker's bad. And I remember him going, like, when doing the press tour, that they're asking him about, oh, how's Jared Leto's Joker, like, how is he on set and all that, and he explained how he's in this method acting mode and sending these weird gifts to each other, to all the crew and all that. Like, you don't talk about all that hype up just for it to come out how it did, or I don't want to say how it did, because that wasn't even how it was supposed to come out. It came out how the studio wanted to, but even the little glimpse in Zack Snyder's Zack Snyder's Justice League, even that small scene with him and Batman was like, yo, that's Joker. And so to know that the Ayer cut is somewhere out there that I want release the Ayer cut, that I know that his Joker is probably crazy in this movie. Like that's crazy, bro. You're literally gonna fuck up the movie that has two of the biggest DC villains, especially two of the biggest Batman villains, and you fucked up the whole story for what? For what? In conclusion, the air cut of Suicide Squad is an important part into the Snyderverse and the DCU. We see more of every character and feel of for all of them. David Ayer deserves to have this release. It moves perfectly into Zack Snyder's Justice League. These are just some small details I found out. So tweet, like, bro, like, I have a conspiracy that I really think this movie this universe was sabotaged just for Marvel to be where it's at now with no competition. And you know what's so funny? These people sit here, and I see these people, the Marvel studios will sit here and say, "Yeah, we want competition with DC. We want that and all this, that, and the third." But this movie got sabotaged, or this universe got sabotaged for no reason. Because this would have literally changed the landscape of superhero movies, and literally would have had Marvel. And I think, and the reason I'm saying it's only my theory. I'm not even gonna say conspiracy. I'm gonna say it is a conspiracy that, but I don't know. I'm not even gonna say conspiracy. It's just my theory. But I think Marvel didn't want competition because they're trying to get their universe up and going, and so they decided, or some people decided, they had some inside people come in and help ruin this whole universe. And this would have made, and the reason they wanted that is because Marvel didn't want, Marvel would had to play keep up, and actually had to have some competition, and they didn't want that. But that's just my theory. You don't have to agree with me, and you don't have to believe me if it is true or not. You don't have to believe me and all that. You don't have to agree with me. You don't even have to like it. But that's just my theory. That's it. According to David Ayer, in the early draft of Suicide Squad, it would have featured the introduction of Steppenwolf and Parademons and Enchantress. And Enchantress was supposed to activate the mother boxes. So I did see a picture. Hold on. I could have sworn there was a picture. I think it's. No, that's not it. I could have sworn I saved the picture. We'll find it. But I could have sworn I saw a picture of all that of Steppenwolf being in there, and that's crazy. We would have saw Steppenwolf before Justice League if they just allowed these movies to be what it was. That's crazy. The film does set up the Justice League from Batman, the Flash, to Aquaman, the Argus list of metahumans, but earlier it was supposed to be a bigger setup. Whoa. But he confirmed that this script was never filmed even during reshoots. The Enchantress thing. Okay, so yeah, the Enchantress was supposed to activate the mother box instead of Superman, but yeah, alright, cool. Diablo is alive. In the theatrical cut, Diablo sacrificed to save his team from Enchantress' brother, but in the air cut, it seems this not the case. We need further explanation. Warner Brothers. Facts. And this is the burnt look they were talking about, Joker, and then the metal teeth. Okay. See, these people say, oh, Jared Leto's was trash and all that, but he had the look from, and I'm gonna pull up the pictures, but he had the look from the comics. That's crazy. The haircut would have shown Joker in the aftermath of the helicopter crash where he met Enchantress. In a script shared by David Ayer during the final act, Enchantress used Joker to make Harley to worship her, while the squad stops Harley from believing it. And we really would have got that Harley Quinn and Joker like relationship vibe of him being abusive and manipulative, and her being I I don't want to, because I never thought of Harley Quinn dumb, but you can see her because she's been through a lot of trauma, dealing with Joker. So I would say she's manipulated into, dealing with that. But Harley, Katana, guessing this Killer Croc. I don't know who this is. And what's crazy too is I saw the extended cut without even knowing it was the extended cut, because they don't even put it on. I don't think they put on Max. It's an extended cut, and I remember seeing scenes of Batman that I didn't see in the first movie, and I'm like, yo. But yeah, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, bro, how do you like look, man, I don't hate James Gunn, because I really like Guardians of the Galaxy. I like the Suicide Squad. I don't like Peacemaker. Peacemaker's not my thing. And then even recently, the Creature Commando stuff is not my shit. And then I was excited for Superman, and then I saw all the stuff coming out about it, and then even the first look pictures and all that, and I was like, nah, this looks like it's gonna be doo-doo. But that's just my opinion. But you got rid of, and my thing is, you got rid of this, which we finally got the Justice League on screen. Other than just being it Batman and Superman movies, we actually got all these in a movie, except for him. And I'm mad that the studio cut him out, because we would have got the whole Justice League. And then you're telling me you're replacing this. Hold on, we're gonna. You literally got rid of this for this. Like, don't get me wrong, bro. Like, if you like this and you're excited for it, cool. Good for you. I hope this movie is good for you. I know I'm not gonna watch this. If I do watch it, I'm not gonna pay a ticket to go see this. So, but yeah, this shit looks I'm sorry, I don't want to click on that because it has the dude's face, but it's just that, like, you literally got rid of this for this, bruh. Bruh. And my thing is, how come the studio, how come you have Elseworlds? If you're able to tell a Matt Reeves Batman story, or you're able to tell a Todd Phillips Joker movie that's not connected to the DCU, how come you can't keep this? That makes zero sense. It literally makes zero sense. And then you even had Darkseid, bro. You had Darkseid, and then even the whole script that was gonna lead up to that shit, like, bro. Like, this, I don't know, bro. This shit frustrates me. Like, it pisses me off, but it frustrates me, because it's like, and then what's crazy is there's actual, other than the Snyder fans, there's actually people outside that actually like these movies. Like my mom watches movies, especially she watches with me, and she watches especially superhero movies and all that. Sorry guys, I put in tea tree oil, and I think I put too much, and it's like slipping, like leaking to the back of my neck. And next time I'm not gonna put as much. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. My mom likes the superhero stuff. She's the one that I would go to the movies with, and she would take me to go see these movies. She would take me to go see these Avengers films and these Man of Steel and even Transformers and all that. And it's just that, like, oh, that's cool, the behind the scenes. I've never seen the behind the scenes. Hold on. It's just, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta focus on. But it's just the fact literally, they got rid of Henry Cavill as Superman, and literally she's like, and I showed the picture who they replacing him with, and she's like, no, Henry Cavill is my Superman. Like, and she grew up with the older, and mind you, she grew up with the Christopher Reeves and all that, all those Supermen, but she likes Henry Cavill's Superman. She said that he looks like he looks like he's Superman. Like that's Superman. And she literally told me that's my Superman. I don't want this. I don't want to see this. This is not my Superman. Why would you get rid of Henry Cavill? And I'm the same way. I'm like, psh. I explained to her, and she's like, no, that's not my Superman. And I'm like, hey, I agree with you, but you know, the studio doesn't want to listen to the actual people that actually pay for these movies and actually goes out and want to watch them. Just saying. But bro, look, this is my Batman. This right here is my Batman. I love Christopher Nolan. I love Christian Bale as that Dark Knight Batman. I love Michael Keaton's Batman. I love George Clooney's Batman for what it was. But this is my Batman. And I like Robert Pattinson's Batman. I really like I like the Batman movie. Matt Reeves has something. He literally has something in his hands right there with those movies. But this right here, this guy. Oh, excuse me. This guy right here, my Batman. This is my Batman. My Batman gotta be buff. My Batman gotta be buff and scary. Not to say I wouldn't be afraid of I was about to say Christian Bale. But even Christian Bale. It's not to say I wouldn't be scared of Christian Bale's Batman, or even Michael Keaton's Batman, or even Robert Pattinson's Batman. It's not to say I wouldn't be afraid, but like with Robert Pattinson, I gotta see him like with the scene at the train during the rain scene where he's beating those thugs up. That literally, I like, they weren't scared of him until he started beating their ass, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm scared. This guy, he's in the dark and shows up. Oh, I'm terrified. Cause first of all, why are you built like this, and you dress like a bat, which is fucking scary. And then I see you take a guy out. Oh, I'm already shitting my pants at that point. Like I see him, I'm scared. No. I see him. I'm scared. He walks out, or I see like a figure of him. I'm scared. Who walks out into the light. I pee myself a little, and then I see him take out like a thug and all this, throwing a crate at him. Oh, I took a shit. I shit my pants like that. This guy right here. This guy right here, you don't want to mess with. But hold on, I want to see this real quick. So they rehearsing. Doo. Are these those stunt people? Oh, those are stunt people. Okay. That's tough. I like that. But let me focus. I'm not even gonna talk about. Oh, hold on. Kevin Smith. Hey man, if you don't fuck with Kevin Smith or at least respect some of his takes, I don't know. I feel like something wrong with you. I feel like because this guy's a cool guy. I don't understand. You know, like at least where I'm from. Well, I don't say where I'm from, but on this side, we fuck with Kevin Smith. We fuck with Kevin Smith. We see Kevin Smith as a legend. I love Jay and Silent Bob. And he directed some great episodes of The Flash before it started going to shit. So, but Kevin Smith wants to restore the Snyderverse. I'm all for it, man. Especially if it's like on HBO Max. Like fucking do it all. Do the long cut of Suicide Squad. Let David Ayer go back in and throw Zach a bunch of money every other year to make a goddamn thing, man. This my guy right here. I fuck with him. Oh, but it's like, why not? Like, why not? Like, literally, you literally have. And I think this is the photo I saw of. But this, like, literally, this movie is like you're fucking. Like, you really, bro, if you release, I feel like Warner Brothers isn't going to release this, or I don't want to say one, they're not going to, because I'm not going to put that out there. They are going to. They have to. They have to, because we already know what this is, and people are already asking for this. Like, I'm sorry. If I had to choose this or Superman Legacy, I'm choosing this. Because this already, first of all, this already looks good. I'm not even sold on Superman Legacy. So, but it's just like, bro, you literally have the Snyderverse, and literally you could, like, what, bro, Warner Brothers knows Zack brings in money for them. 300, Man of Steel, BVS, even if the reception wasn't good, it still brought in money. If they released his Justice League movie in theaters, like if they released it in theaters, you know how much money people would pay, especially you do it in IMAX. You know, as intended. You know how many people will watch this in IMAX and pay for a ticket? I definitely would. I would see this. I would at least see this at least 2 or 3 times before they take it out of theaters. And it's like, how would you? And people was like, how would you put a movie in 4 hours? Well, either he can cut it down for a movie thing, or you could do it just like how they do plays. Show the first 2 hours. Take a and people gotta know. Well, and then you gotta preference this to everybody that, hey, we're gonna, because you could literally do movies like plays. I feel like you could literally do the whole full couple hours, because you could do like the first half of acts, a intermission, 5-6 minute intermission, go pee, go refill on popcorn and drinks, and then you come back in, sit down, and watch the rest of it. Like, I know a lot of people don't have that time, but the people who are willing to want that time will do it. And then you can even put out a smaller version, like a 3-hour some version, and then boom. And then you can make a lot of money off of that. And then if you release the Ayer cut, when you release the Ayer cut, you can literally put that in theaters, and people will go and watch that. That shit would make stupid buku money. So this is the video that is going around for the release the Snyder Cut stuff. And you'll see the, and I shout out to John Berthal for having David Ayer on his podcast and to talk about all the stuff about David Ayer, but especially to talk about this because I know this movie means a lot to David Ayer, and this movie also means a lot to me because I really love this movie and I really love how he handled these characters. Even though the studio fucked up and put out a theatrical version and then put out extended cut, I still like whatever soul that was and is in the theatrical cut. I loved it, and I want the rest of it. I want to see all of it. So, oh, that's Mia Khalifa. Oh, I did not mean it like that. All right, whatever. But we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this real quick. I'm really gonna make this a whole like David Ayer thing. So,
what's your biggest heartbreak in the film industry? What's the thing that's hurt the most?
You know, the big one is like Suicide Squad. That broke me.
Like I've seen that like release the Ayer cut. Can that get released?
Really?
Look at the difference. Look at the difference.
Bad.
Hold on.
Ayer cut. Can that get released?
Really?
Like, look at the difference, man.
Really bad.
Like I talked to James Gunn, and you know, it's possible, but they want to get some scores on the board first. You know?
I think Warner Brothers should release the Ayer cut.
I think it's in a company's best interest to listen to their audience.
They never tested my cut. Everyone I've shown the cut has the same reaction. Rage.
They never tested my cut is crazy.
I think
Like, this is the movie we want.
And this is what I've been hearing. Especially there's a guy I follow, Will. It's Will something. He saw his actual cut of the movie, and he was mad. Like, why didn't they put this out? Like, that's all I've heard of anybody who's seen his cut of the movie that he showed.
Same reaction. Rage. Like, this is the movie we wanted. Why didn't we get this?
There's a whole lot that stayed on the floor for Suicide Squad, so absolutely would love to.
Absolutely, why not? Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
Deadpool opened, and then they never tested Batman versus Superman.
Thank you for him saying that. They never tested Batman v Superman either.
Deadpool opened, and then they never tested Batman versus Superman.
They did not.
So they put the movie.
Look at the
They never
difference.
tested Batman.
Look at the difference. This looks so much better than this fucking hazy, fucking foggy looking shit they put out. This right here, you could actually see what the fuck is going on in this room.
So they put the movie out there, and they never did a test. They were expecting. So they put.
And look, Diablo's there. Diablo's not there.
The movie out there, and they never did a test. They were expecting a.
Jared Leto's not close to the his Joker sucked. He's nowhere close to the Joker in the comics. Da da da. What? It's just minus. It's just a smoother look, less wrinkles. But what are you talking about? What?
Different result, and then they got hammered by all the critics, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna turn David Ayer's dark, soulful movie into a comedy now.
You should be ashamed of yourself. There were so many scenes that got cut from the movie, I couldn't even start. We explored a lot. There was so much that we shot that's not in the film. If I die anytime soon, it's probably likely that it'll surface somewhere. I'm just gonna hurt you. Surface somewhere. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
I put my life into Suicide Squad. The studio cut is not my movie. The film I made has never been seen. I'd be okay with whatever David Ayer and Warner's wanted to release. Who said that? James Gunn, DC Studios CEO. No one has seen Jared Leto's performance. It was ripped out of the movie. David Ayer. Original tone. This was the original tone. Uncompromised, unbroken, unseen. The director's true vision. A fully mature edit by Lee Smith and John Gilroy. Original score from Stephen Price. There was a score instead of a pop music, bro. Think of that. Think of the difference. You actually had a original score for the movie, but they edited it up and then put pop music instead.
A logo that pays honor to our past and now signifies our future, ours and yours.
That's crazy, bro. The fact they fucking mess with this whole fucking universe and then release fucking here it is. What is the Ayer cut? How is it different to what was released back in 2016? And why fans are asking to release the Ayer cut? A thread. Oh, this is what I want to get into. Okay, so this is what we're gonna get into, and then this is probably where we're gonna end the video. So let's buckle up. This is a thread by Stanley Ipkiss, restorer Zack Snyder's Justice League. So we're gonna go through all this. I don't care how nobody feels, because it's like, why are you even here if you don't, if you're not even liking what I'm saying and talking about. So first off, when David Ayer first saw the re-edited movie and had to promote an entirely reconceived version of his movie, he felt like he was dying inside. Damn, bro. The reviews dropped. My stomach fell out. They felt so personal and so vitriolic. That shit broke me. It wasn't his movie, bro. Imagine you make some art, make a movie, make whatever, and you're selling it to somebody. They cut it up or mess it up and then put it out in the public, and then the public starts shitting on it because they think it's the movie you made when really, or the art or whatever you made, and then really it's like, no, they fucked up what I had already done. It's showbiz, baby. Gotta go out there and sell the product no matter what. Doesn't mean I wasn't dying inside doing it. We were all incredibly hurt. The cast, the producers. When the embargo lifted on the reviews, I was having breakfast in New York with my family when the reviews dropped. Oh, damn. My stomach fell out, and I went cold. I knew life would be different after that. I did the press. I did the premiere. I sold the movie. I wasn't about to pour gas on myself and light myself on fire over the issue. I had a job to do. I did it just like anyone else with responsibilities. But I will never forget that morning at breakfast. The reviews were so personal, vitriolic. And 7 years later, that vitriol continues. You can imagine my frustration. Yeah, people still are for some reason on his ass about it. You can imagine my frustration. Eventually, I couldn't stay quiet. I had to speak my mind, or my truth. I know my life and my work are mere rage bait and clickbait for many online. But I am an artist. I have a big heart. I feel everything, and I love making films. If anything, this experience has taught me to be authentic. Here I am. I'll close with a gut punch of a review I screenshotted that morning. Suicide Squad is 2 hours of soul-sickening sensory torment. Damn, bro. Fuck. David Ayer, Suicide Squad is his biggest Hollywood heartbreak. Hollywood, I tell people, is like watching someone you love get fucked by someone you hate. The big one is Suicide Squad. That shit broke me. That handed me my ass. Fuck. Bro, man. That's so fucked up, man. Bro, then your cut of the movie and the studio cut was test screen and they didn't like both of them. My cut was never tested. I was there. I know it was entirely reconceived. Pretty much a total redo of the edit, sadly. Fuck. Since then, David has shared with us what his cut Suicide Squad truly was. He explains how the movie was butchered, including character arcs, the story, the tone, Jared Leto's Joker, Harley's toxic relationship. It was her movie. Even the VFX, editing, and score were all messed up. Holy shit. For sure, that became a factor, but the reason was BVS got chewed up by the critics, and this is fact. The reason why they did what they did to Suicide Squad is because the critics were doing the same thing toward the BVS what they did with Suicide Squad, but the issue was the studio messed over BVS and they cut up the fucking movie. So that's the reason why it got chewed up. And then it's crazy because it's like they poked the bear and the bear came and attacked. And it's like, if y'all just let the bear alone in the sense of, oh, you have this movie that's already made. Just put out what's made. Don't cut it up. And then you don't even test screen it. You just put it up. People start shitting on it. Now you, for some reason, are starting to be like, oh my God, this movie's getting shit on. Oh my God, the reviews are bad. Oh, we gotta control these other movies because of the decision they made. A decision they made, and they got the effect of the decision they made. Now they want to continue making decisions even though they fucked up. Like, it's so crazy. But the reason was BVS got chewed up by the critics and the success of Deadpool. The studio leadership at the time panicked. The major elements of my cut were ripped out before I could mature the edit. Then Johns wrote pages I had to reshoot. Oh my God. Fuck you, Jeff Johns. In my cut, the first scene is June Moon discovering and releasing Enchantress in a jungle location. I think we got like a snippet of that. I think that was like everybody's story was like explained by Waller or explained by Waller who they are, and they just show clips of what they can do. And that pissed me off because I had a feeling there was more to it from the Comic-Con trailer, but then you look at the movie and it's like, what the fuck? They're barely in this shit. What the fuck? Next scene is extended assault on Arkham by Joker's crew. Then he electroshocks Harley. There was more to Club and an argument between Harley Quinn and Jay in his car. Unless it was a completely different structure with a climax that doesn't unfold like it was written by a 12-year-old, then I can see how it'll be any better. Well, you're in luck then. It's a completely different structure and ending. The I Started a Joke trailer is the greatest isolated piece of Suicide Squad content. This trailer nailed the tone and interpretation of the film I made. Oh my God. Okay, we got it. Methodical, layered, complex, beautiful, and sad. After the BVS reviews shell-shocked the leadership at the time and the success of Deadpool, my soulful drama was beaten into a comedy. See? And they're still trying to be Marvel. Just be your own thing. Stop trying to be another studio. Stop trying to be another movie just because it did good, bro. Like, put out what you have. Why are you... Oh, Deadpool got put out, so we got to make this into a comedy because Deadpool did good as a comedy. No, put out what you have. Stop looking at other fucking studios because of the movies they made. Like, look at who you hired and what they made, and test screen that shit. If it doesn't do good, then okay, maybe reconsider. But you didn't even test screen the original film. Oh my God. We already read that. This was reshot because the tone was too dark. My first act was a normal constructed film. I took my inspiration from Nolan. So if this was too dark, then the Batman the Dark Knight's too dark then. But you already put Batman the Dark Knight, so why would you sit here and say, "Oh, this is too dark"? What the fuck? And mind you, Nolan's been so he got his inspiration from Nolan. Nolan helped with Man of Steel. Nolan helped with BVS. Like, what are we doing? There were real scenes with incredible acting between Jared and Margot. Joker was terrifying, and Harley was complex. I really hope you give us some type of Ayer cut update. Well, Rollins recently, his name was Rollins, okay, or is Rollins. Will Rollins recently told me that the Incubus design is different from the theatrical version. Anyway, I hope all is well. Hopefully your cut gets put out. Dude, my VFX got wrecked. Omni God, Enchantress, and Incubus got done dirty. That part was especially mind-blowing. Bro, why? Just why? The Ayer cut's final edit was done by Christopher Nolan's former editor, Lee Smith, with David Ayer taking inspiration from Christopher Nolan. The cut you've seen was edited by a trailer company with no experience in editing film. So why would you give this film, I'm talking to WB, why, if you're gonna cut up this movie, right, why would you give this film to a trailer company to edit that has no experience in editing films? That makes no sense. That explains why it was super bright, why there was a lot of there was cuts in the backstory. That explains why there's a lot of bright stuff to it and pop songs and oh, bro. David, my friend, does this version make sense and tell the story as a theatrical version of Hell didn't? If it does, then bring it on. As with Snyder's cuts, they were very watchable and the story not blank. Yada yada. It's a linear story, character development throughout the first arc. Harley has a real story arc, and as does Deadshot. It's moody and bold and dramatic and heartfelt. Totally different experience. It plays like an entirely different film. Ask and answer. It's honestly not worth answering again, but here goes. I had a complete Joker arc and character was scary and formidable. Harley had an arc. It was her movie. Diablo lived, different ending. Enchantress / June Moody. June Moon? Or June Moon, however you say it. Had character arcs and made sense. Flag had a real journey. Deadshot and Zoe, his daughter, Deadshot and Zoe, more there. Deeper take, while movie was Price's brilliant score. It's not a matter of a new scene or two. I honestly cannot think of a director cut / studio cut with more difference between them. A lot of the popular issues with Suicide Squad 16 are endemic to the studio version. I made a drama, not a clown show. I made a great movie. It's just concept art. It ain't that deep. The idea was Enchantress was altering reality, the reality around her, and changing the environment. The Joker image is a simple take on that concept. Here's more. I work from DC printed comics. What? I work from the DC printed comics. Just made tattoos all over LA street, all about LA street culture and not generic. His character, sorry, Oh my god. His character had way more love in my cut. I've been taking blows for the studio cut for a minute. Like the horrific BET. Oh my god, that was such a... this was such a horrific... Because I remember hearing this in that theatrical version. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, cool that Killer Croc watches BET, but what? Why is that put in here? Like the horrific BET line from Croc, movie you saw was twisted up. There was Parademons Light concept was there formed the Enchantress army, and the actual Parademon would be revealed in Act 3. Ooh. Okay. Third act was different. It was supposed to have the Joker make a deal with Enchantress that's actually cool. It kind of reminds me of Peacock. So this is the concept. So this is what I read. From what I've heard, after Joker's helicopter crash had made a deal with Enchantress and Harley, where he'd take Harley and be the king of Gotham, and was present in the third act. Since Suicide Squad was mainly a Harley and Deadshot film, the temptation would have been greater. David says the VFX got wrecked. Enchantress and Incubus got done dirty. That part was especially mind-blowing. Yeah, we read this. Oh. This actually looks like this actually is a better design. This is tough. This is actually tough. Holy shit. The movie was supposed to show Harley Quinn's toxic relationship with the Joker and her escaping it. It was her movie. Nice. I like this. This is a good photo. This is a good photo of her. I really like it. I really like this photo. Okay. Yeah, we read this. He's a formidable force in my cut, not unfocused and silly. In my cut, he has a story arc that hangs powerfully over the entire movie. Pretty much all of Leto's scenes were reshot. We haven't seen his true performance. Jared killed it, but no one knows. Shame we never had the chance to see Jared's actual performance. It was amazing. Sorry, not sorry. I really like this shot. These two shots right here are really good shots of him. This is a creepy shot. This is a creepy shot. Oh, he would have been crazy. I knew there was a good part of the joke. We didn't even see this part down here. Joker is formidable, intense, and a force of nature in my cut. Not unfocused. Oh, we already read that. In the studio cut, he's a prop, not a character. Jared killed it, but no one knows. Oh, this part. There was a tone, more difference, including a lot more Ben Affleck's Batman, and they cut a scene out where he takes down the Killer Croc. On Batman's back as he moves through the brick tunnel, it's a pitch black water up to his waist. On Batman, night vision is mounted on his cowl. He wears his breathing apparatus. Batman's night vision point of view, infrared lights and his glove fists light the way. Two glowing eyes watching him from underwater. Killer Croc bursts from the sewage and punches Batman. Punches Batman in the face. Batman falls back, grabs Croc's leg in a leg lock. But Croc reverses the hold and spins violently as crocodiles do. Batman clawing slime, slick bricks from perches. Croc grabbing on his breathing mask, hoping to drown him. Batman gets Croc in an armbar. Killer Croc: I ain't been in your way. Why you on me, Bats? Ask the 50 people you killed. Batman hauls back with all his might. Crack. Snaps Croc's arm. Oh, that would have been fucking crazy, bro. What? You cut that out? You cut out, bro. What? The extended alternate cut. In early cuts, the movie's opening detailed June Moon's possession by Enchantress in real time. Reshoots reshuffled the scene to later in the movie in flashback form in favor of a new opening centered on Deadshot in his prison cell, watching the rainfall and thinking about his daughter, minor scene. El Diablo observing the flame of his lit match before putting out due to his vow to no longer use his powers. El Diablo being escorted to Belle Reed's training center by being placed in a tube that fills with water to quell his flames. And then on I can't speak today. Unceremoniously dropped in the ground. Early interviews reiterate Captain Boomerang's racism and sexism. Reiterates Captain Boomerang's racism and sexism, but the movie's light on examples of such behavior, which have apparently been deleted. Most of them were reportedly directed at Katana, to whom Boomerang is attracted. That makes sense. I can see that. Early reports indicate more backstory for Killer Croc, revealing that he lived his entire life as a social outcast due to his physical deformities, and has convinced himself he is beautiful in his own right. Nice. Croc crossed paths with Batman while working as a muscle for hire for numerous Gotham's crime bosses while secretly planning to take over in one day. There were also scenes displaying his affinity for making sculptures out of discarded materials. Aside from jokes about Croc viewing himself as beautiful, none of this was retained in the final cut. Also deleted was a scene where he becomes sick at the helicopter escort to Midway City, throws up half-digested pieces of goat, and then eats them again, disgusting nearby Navy SEALs. Ugh. Nice. Early cuts reported include a passing reference to Slipknot being a serial rapist, likely to further paint him as unsympathetic to the audience ahead of his death. Oh, okay. So it makes the audience want him to die. Okay, cool. More scenes of Rick Flag and June Moon's romantic relationship, including him reading the files of Suicide Squad recruits after Waller delivers them to him. Another scene where Flag and Moon are out on a date was also cut. Because, there was supposed to be more of a romantic relationship with these two in that film that we never got. Extended scenes of Joker's interrogating Captain Griggs, including the line, "I can't wait to show you my toys," which was in every trailer but was removed from the movie. I hate when they do that. Oh, there's more. Joker and his men escaping after shooting up a restaurant. Harley, who is already affiliated with the Joker, follows them on a motorcycle and intercepts their car. Joker bangs his head against the glass in frustration. Oh, was he trying to ditch her or something? Joker and Harley then get into a fight, which ends with Harley pointing a gun at Joker's head. Joker sweet talks Harley into lowering the gun, charming her, and then backhands her across the face. Afterwards, he sweet talks her again, and they kiss. Oh, that's the toxic Joker that I know. Yeah, because if you're gonna do a relationship showing Joker and Harley, you got to show the toxic side of it, which is he doesn't treat her right. Like he literally manipulates her and gaslights her into like thinking he loves her, which I think somewhere in Joker he does love Harley, but he's too much of a psycho and and toxic for that to be fully shown. So I think Joker actually does love Harley, but it's just the craziness overrides all that. Extended Ace Chemical scene where Harley jumps into the chemicals. More bits of dialogue by the Joker. Extended Batmobile chase scene with more interaction between Joker and Harley. One of the examples presented in all trailers in the Joker punching the roof of his car. Yeah. Why would you cut all Harley using her baseball bat as a mock gun to play shoot at invisible foes. Minor that wasn't in there. Extended scenes of Joker breaking into nano bomb manufacturing facility to arrange for Harley's neck bomb to be disabled. More interactions between Harley and Boomerang. Early cuts apparently included her really disliking him, despite growing affectionate to all other members of the squad. I can see that. I can see her not liking him. Extended bar scene with Harley taking everyone's orders. Deadshot calls for a shot. Katana wants whiskey. Croc and Boomerang settle for beer. Harley asks what Diablo wants, and he prefers just water, which she jokes is a good idea. The scene was featured in trailers, but in the movie it cuts directly to Deadshot's speech about the... Yo! I remember that in the trailer. I do remember that in the trailer. Bro, they did cut that out. Because that wasn't in the movie. Oh my God, bro. That pisses me. This just pisses me off more. Like, why would you cut up this movie like this? The scene was featured in trailers, but Deadshot speaks about them almost pulling this mission off. Removed were several scenes with the Joker to repaint his relationship with Harley as more loving than rather than abuse. Joker and Harley get into an argument after he rescues her in the hijacked helicopter. In earlier cuts, he reportedly pushes her out to kill her. Then the helicopter gets shot down. This was apparently reworked into the helicopter getting shot down first, and Joker pushing her out to save her. Oh, yeah. So they try to paint it as him saving her and making it seem like, oh, they love each other, but no, like there's something where it was like I thought of it as him trying to actually push her and kill her, but they painted it as, oh no, he sacrificed himself to save her. Like, bro. And then you get to the end and it doesn't make sense because he shows up and then bro. Yeah, they fucked up all of that. Joker returns during the final battle in the subway station, has face burned from the helicopter crash, which apparently leads to brief altercation with the Suicide Squad. He calls to Harley to escape with them, but she refuses for once in order to help her friends, and the Joker escapes after throwing a live grenade at the group to recover his own escape. All this was cut out, bro. All of this was cut out. For what? Ayer was edited by Nolan's former, but the studio decided to hire a trailer. Yeah, even the original score was composed by Stephen Price, was changed to pop music for her theatrical release. Wow. Which, don't get me wrong, I love Purple Lamborghini and Sucker for Pain, but it was like there was no score, though. Honestly, if they were to keep pop songs, I would say they should have kept Purple Lamborghini, Sucker for Pain, and You Don't Own Me. Other than that, everything, they fucked this up. Maybe Ayer did choose this cover. I don't know. I don't know if I was right about that or not. But the Ayer Cut's final edit was done. We read that. David has amazing taste in DC movies, with them taking particular inspiration from the Dark Knight trilogy. The Ayer Cut was edited by Lee Smith, who worked on the trilogy and was Oscar nominated for the Dark Knight and won for Dunkirk. You literally had an Oscar-winning editor, and y'all got rid of him and gave it to a fucking trailer company that doesn't know how to edit films. You know how idiotic you gotta sound like to be to do that. Oh, these people are dumb. As you can see, the Ayer cut sounds very different to what we got. To me, it sounds so much better. That's facts. David Ayer has stated that my cut would be easy to complete. It would be an incredibly cathartic for me. All it needs is some VFX polishing, and then they can release the Ayer cut. Just like the Snyder cut, but they didn't have to do additional scenes. They just got to polish the VFX, and they're good. This is a good question. My cut would be easy to complete. It would be cathartic. It's exhausting getting your ass kicked for a film that got the Edward Scissorhands treatment. The film I made has never been seen. The first trailer, Suicide Squad, is actually David Ayer's cut. You can see all the differences. We're going to watch the trailer after this. The first trailer for Suicide Squad is actually David Ayer's cut. You can see all the differences from the trailer and the movie. Then the studio meddled with it all. They wanted to lighten everything up. Bro, DC is dark for a reason. I'm not saying every movie from the DCU, and I'm not saying every story's got to be fucking dark and all that or mature, but why are you trying to compete with Marvel? And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even like I like a lot of the Marvel movies, but there's some movies where it was like they got away from the tone of the first two phases. It's like they got away from that tone and then started trying to be brighter, and then got to Infinity War and Endgame, and it's like they went back to that mature dark tone. And I'm like, why can you do that throughout the whole thing? Like, what the fuck? A big part of this was due to the success of Deadpool. WB wanted to copy them. Why? Oh my god. Okay, I don't understand. Why are you copying other movies when you have a whole different universe that operates on a whole different rules, and you can actually, DC's actually more acceptable to tell more darker stories than Marvel? And it's not to say DC doesn't tell no light story. And I've said this before. It's not to say DC can't tell no light stories, and it's not to say Marvel can't tell no dark stories. But we all know when we look at Marvel and DC has a more darker, mature tone to it, and Marvel has a more brighter, and it has mature stories, but has a brighter, lighter stories to them compared to DC. And I'm not dumb for saying this, because I've read Marvel comics and I read DC comics. This was reshot because the tone was too dark. My first act was a normal constructed film until we read this. See? Trailer, theatrical. Why would you... This looks so much better than this. And you're telling me the Ayer cut, the trailer, fucking Amanda Waller is actually in her actual suit. Trailer, theatrical, original, reshoot. I like this. This one was more better. I didn't like the whole empty. It was weird that it was a bunch of government officials having dinner in an empty restaurant, like they were mob bosses or something like that. That was weird. Yeah. Trailer, theatrical, behind the scenes, theatrical. Yeah, no, you see there's no El Diablo in here. Trailer, oh, I like that they were working together in this. Wow. Original. So there's different shots also. Wow. That is so crazy. I'm retweeting all of this. That's crazy. All right. So, yeah, man, that's fucking nuts. Oh, this is Will. Hold on. I'm trying to. Fuck. So I remember I was watching some of this, and I'm gonna play some of these because it's not that long. So it's 2, 4, 5, 3. What else? So I'm gonna let these cause so this is Will Rollins, the guy who got to see the actual cut.
Well, the Joker when
I would say it might have been an R8. I don't know if they would have made any.
The Joker when
he slaps.
And he's just like beaten into the fucking dirt. You can
Oh
hear the
yeah,
bat
well,
hit.
yeah. Oh sorry, God, yeah. Yes, you're right. The baseball bat scene that would have done it on its own.
But Joker literally slaps
and Harley being tortured scenes.
Yeah, but that's not in the air cut, the backslap.
Right. Or
hang on, which bit? I think you said baseball bat.
No. Ben's saying when he backhands Harley, but that's not in the air cut.
What scene? I can't remember. Which scene does he backslap her in?
So there's a scene in the extended cut of Suicide Squad where they're driving on the highway and they get out and Harley points the gun at Joker and he like snatches it out of her hand. But we saw the behind the scenes footage of them filming it and he actually like slapped her.
See, I don't remember that him being in the air.
Okay, interesting. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know that scene. I know what you're talking about. I remember those behind the scenes shots. Even sort of like just thinking about like the dialogue differences where like in the Ayer cut where Joker says like the shit that I do for you, and then in the theatrical it's like we've got some grape soda and ice. Like what the fuck?
And a bearskin rug, and I'm like, what the? You know it's bad when people are cosplaying Harley and calling Joker and Harley Quinn couples goals. I'm like, you don't know this relationship.
Yeah, that was the crazy thing. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a cool cosplay and all that to dress up like them for Comic Cons and Halloween and all that, but to say they're couple goals, y'all don't know their relationship. Y'all really don't, cause you wouldn't say relationship goals to what. So not even just from this movie, just from other mediums of them working together, you wouldn't say relationship goals. If anything, the women and the men would agree. They would say, Harley, you need to get away from Joker. Like, yeah, nah, that is not relationship goals.
Works for the Hot Topic crowd.
The actual cut makes you think that she wanted to be with him from the start.
Mm-hmm.
She never did. And even when she was with him, she didn't want to be with him.
Yeah, and
She
it's
had to be.
reminds me of something that David said in a sort of another, I think it was an interview or something. It was behind the scenes clip where it's like Harley is more of just like sort of a sidekick, and she, whether that is to with like Joker or to with other members of the Suicide Squad, that she always sort of plays that sidekick role. So I think the next question I'm going to sort of take from chat is like,
I wouldn't say she was a sidekick. She was more of a trophy to him.
Right. Yeah.
The end of the movie, though, when he breaks her out of the prison, we've seen the comparison shots, and the black and white one looks very scary, and it looks like she doesn't like that Joker is there.
Well, if you remember in the theatrical cut, she's like, "Yay, you saved me." Nope. The opposite.
Wow.
She is terrified.
Oh my god.
Is that shot for the black and white shot where his mouth is like open like that?
Where he's like screaming in her face.
Okay, is that shot like actually in the area?
That's earlier.
Really, because he had the police here.
When his face is all burnt and that.
No, not
No,
that.
he's talking about in the cell. When he has the concrete grinder and he has to swap it up.
He's
talking
got
about
this creepy expression with his mouth like open all the way, and it's like, very surreal looking and.
It looks like
horrifying.
he's sort of screaming at her face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because there's the last line in the film. I think it's from him, and it's that bit. And it's
okay.
Can I say it?
Bro, it's the fact that he cut all this out. Like, I don't understand. Like I don't understand sitting here and just like cutting out all this like dope stuff that's in it.
Optimistic O's fan, and it's like he wants to know how is Deadshot's character arc affected by the sort of inclusion of a hookup with Harley Quinn, because they do sort of like partner up in the movie, and that's something that's kept more to the Ayer cut. It's not really in the Suicide Squad.
I would say, in the Ayer cut, he sees her from a father figure. He sees her from a father's point of view, I think. Like, that's kind of how I understood it. Like, he sees her as what his daughter could be when she's older, like if she's mistreated by a boyfriend.
That's good. I like that.
Like
I like
that's
I like that a lot better. I like that a lot better.
It's not what you think. It's not like they're going to be in a relationship. It's kind of like, and David said to me, because when I said to him, like it's a very abusive, controlling, and manipulative relationship, and she is the victim of domestic abuse. Is the best way to say
You're a
it.
victim.
And David said he wanted his daughters to see that even in a relationship as bad as that, you can get out, and there are good people that will help you if you need help. So the Deadshot character,
I like
in terms
that.
of him
That's
and Harley. He was
wow.
like a men.
Wow, and the studio cut that out. Oh, they are fuckheads, bro.
And he was kind of seeing that she was, or her attitude, and that was more of a front that she puts on out. But really, I think this is my interpretation, is that he saw her as, well, you can do better than this. You don't need to be like his. You don't need to be scared of him. You don't need to worry. There are better people, and that's the kind of, and they're obviously their relationship, friendship kind of grew a bit to the point. Yes, there's a kiss, but it's kind of like, well, that was wrong. Like that's the kind of, like, from Deadpool's point of view, like, no, that's
Deadpool.
not.
You mean
that's not
Deadshot?
My interpretation, what I remember was, the kiss happened, because she saw him as I think, like some girls, they're with a bad guy and then they see they got a hero who's trying to help them, and maybe then she wanted to latch onto him and kiss him in the only way she knew to show that her gratitude was sexual or that kind of way. When he was like, no, that's not why I'm helping you. I'm just saying.
That sounds so complex.
That's the only life that they know.
Much
so
more.
they, when they get out
exactly.
of that,
they she wanted to use her appearance of sexuality to thank him, or that kind of complex where she felt like that's the only way she should show appreciation, because that's the way she's been kind of beaten into it. And when you think about, forget the fact they're comic book characters, that's the kind of dynamic that happens around the world a lot with women and men and abusive relationships. And David said he wanted his daughter to see her.
See, I like, and I'm not trying to bring up Zack Snyder, but it's kind of, I like that David Ayer is going this route, or was using this in this movie, because even Zack shows mistreatment of women and then showing the empowerment of women from rising above that mistreatment, especially Rebel Moon. It shows that there are soldiers who are like wicked fucking people, and I don't mean that in a oh, that's gnarly. No, not that wicked. Like, there's really bad. There's really bad like military people who would do those things that they were doing in Rebel Moon, and Cora comes in, a woman comes in to save another woman, if anything, a teenage girl from being raped by a bunch of army men. And I'm not saying that's for all military and army people. I'm not saying that's everybody, right? But I'm glad he showed that, because it shows that there are military people, military men who get away with doing that. And I'm glad he showed that in there, and showed a somebody who can handle those men and take them out. So I like that in here. That, like you said, David Ayer shows that what a toxic relationship looks like, and shows that, hey, there is a way out of it. You're not stuck. You're not trapped in this abusive relationship. And there's people who are there to help you. I like that. I like how Will put it that way, and then I like that, that David Ayer actually translates that in his actual cut.
See, the fact that that you don't have to have a bad boyfriend, you don't have to have the abuse, you don't have to put up with abuse. He wanted it to be a lesson, something so that girls could feel empowered to have, and girls to feel like they can have a voice, and they can say, no, this is wrong and I need help. And then he kind of got upset and was like, but all people thought was I was sexualizing her.
And that's complete,
awful,
man.
And that's awful,
bullshit.
isn't it? Because he's a father. He was not thinking that. The way he said that to me, it was like I could tell in his eyes. He almost welled up to a point, because it obviously hurt. Like I said earlier, he's quite a deep, emotional person, and he wrote that, yes, to the extreme, because it's Suicide Squad, but
Right.
equally, and like I say, it stuck with me. I wanted my daughters to see that they don't have to be in a abusive relationship, and I wanted girls to see that they can
get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that.
So his cut.
Where's that in the theatrical cut? There's none of that, is there? She's just a bimbo, crazy girl. Oh
Yeah.
well, he's my boyfriend.
Looking for a good time, that bullshit.
Yeah, it's not like that. It actually had meaning, and that was a.
If anything, this shows that WB disrespected Margot Robbie, because you made her to look like a bimbo, not even just a character, but you made the actor look like some bimbo who's just looking around and sleep with people, when David showed it as what Harley's going through and showing her getting out of it. That's crazy. You wrong for that, WB. You are wrong.
Story arc throughout the movie, a bit like the Cyborg story arc throughout the heart of.
Oh my God, they
Yeah.
I would say that kind of dynamic was the heart of that film.
Just the heart of the Ayer cut.
That's actually nuts to actually cut that out. See, Joker didn't
Talking
manipulate.
about we're talking about Harley Quinn and Joker's relationship. Sarah's brought a question from Twitter from Bulba Von C.
Joker didn't manipulate Harley in the air cut. She was completely professional, and Joker needed to go to break her in order to build her into what he wanted. Harley would later come to break free from that abusive, controlling relationship.
How much therapy talking between Dr. Kunzel and Joker is in the Ayer cut? Do we see sort of a conversation where Joker manipulates Harley a lot?
She can't be manipulated, which is why he has to torture her.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember in the trailer, not only him like electroshocking her, which they tried to do a different trailer and play it off like it was not her, it was somebody else getting electrocuted. And I remember that, and then that didn't even show up in the movie. Oh no, it did, but they used a guy to get information from, because they were trying to use him to get, they're torturing a guy and not her. And then on top of that, I remember in the actual Comic-Con trailer, her like not falling for Joker's BS, but they made it in the theatrical trailer that he's such suave. He has a way with words. I'm falling in love with him. Like,
I'm just gonna hurt you.
Really bad.
Whereas I recall in the theatrical, she kind of started to fall with him in the
See, I called it.
in the interviews, didn't she? She kind of
Yeah.
loosened up to him a bit, shall we say? But I recall in the Ayer cut, she didn't. She was having none of it. She's professional, and she was like, "Okay, whatever, you're crazy and you're a nutter." And that's why you see the scene. You know the bit where she's tied down, and he goes, "I'm gonna really, really hurt you." Well, why would he have done that if she was already softening up to him?
Right.
No,
Right.
there is more.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's
It weren't working, so it's like, okay, I'll just torture you and let her probe your head to reprogram you to do what I want.
I think that fits more into the abusive relationship aspect too, perhaps.
She weren't interested from day one.
I think it's like it's something that people don't think about, that that he made her, and then she was basically freeing herself from him, and it hurts. Here's the thing, like we've all been through breakups, and none of us here have been abusive, and I get that, but I mean, we and I'm proud of all of you, but what we haven't done was have someone that we considered to have created detached from ourselves. So we've been through pain when we consider our other half to leave us, but it's not his other half. He is still all himself, but he created this thing, and he's like proud of it, and he's prideful. He's like, he
made a trophy,
and then this trophy got legs and was like, enough is enough, and wants to leave. And so that's where his drive to save Harley. God bless her. I feel so bad for her. Save her.
It is.
Yeah, that makes more sense to why he decided. Yeah, I'm just gonna push you out of this helicopter.
Very
that
sad.
makes sense.
It is sad.
So you could say she became Joker's Robin.
Oh god. Oh god.
Hey, there you go.
No. Nope. That was a terrible joke. There is more Batfleck in Ayer cut, and David Ayer's Suicide Squad share parallels with Zack Snyder's Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, as Joker took someone from Bruce. Bruce would take someone from Joker. There's more unseen Batman right now.
The Ayer cut, and I only say that because this guy Jared, whom I've only met now, but he says, you could say that Harley Quinn is Joker's Robin, but is that why Batman in Zack Snyder's Justice League says Joker?
Okay, I see why he joked. Okay, now with the context of his joke, the joke makes sense. It's not terrible, but his delivery was kind of corny. Made it corny though.
Well, when
No offense to
Harley
him.
was dying in my arms.
It's funny.
Cut where when Batman takes Harley, he goes, he took something from me, so I'm gonna take something from him.
Yeah,
it's a good parallel. Didn't even think about it like that.
Right, so another thing, that's the car chase scene, yeah. The purple Lamborghini.
Yeah.
But he takes her.
That's a
But he takes her to jail. That's the only difference. She didn't die. He took her to Arkham, so they wouldn't see each other ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially from the last clip we saw of them talking about how Joker created her, and he's still his whole self. It's not like it's not like Harley is his other half. It makes sense because it's like, damn, the thing I created, he's taking away from me. No, fuck.
Yeah, that's a much larger scene. Has a bit more before it. There's a lot more before it. There's a lot of stuff in the car before Batman catches
It's the
up with him.
bat.
And it's after the
Yeah,
club.
because that's like sort of that scene is
Just
kind of
release
sort of like
this
the
damn movie,
introduction.
please. I'm not
Right.
asking for a lot.
For the love of God,
So people
like,
always
for
say
real.
in 100% respect for the Make the Backflip movie people, I'm on board for that. I'm not against that. I want that. However, I try to remind people, I'm like, there's a Batflick movie. Ben Affleck is Batman right now that costs $0 to make. The guy is in that movie. Everything you want.
In his prime too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's facts. Factuals. Do we see Joker killing Robin?
Is it? Do we see anything from sort of like the Joker killing Robin sort of thing?
You don't see that, but
okay. You get mentions?
Again, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin it. It's alluded to that Joker killed Robin.
Because they allude to it in the theatrical cut. In a scene that isn't in the Ayer cut, where they just real quick on the title screen of Harley, it says accomplice to the death of Robin.
Well, no, there is a scene.
David said that was Jeff Johns and that he broke canon with that. But
why am I not surprised?
Then James Gunn confirmed that didn't matter either.
Hang on, what is it? I'm trying to remember which way round it was, because there is a scene in an alleyway where there's something to do with his with Robin. There's something mentioned in that, I'm pretty sure. But when he's on the Lamborghini scene, there's dialogue in the chase with Batman trying to get in, and they're shooting up for the roof at him about when Batman rips it open, doesn't he? And
it's ruining date night.
No, well, date night was ruined already. Don't worry. They weren't having a happy joyride. They were arguing.
Okay, because they're very happy in that scene in the theatrical cut.
They are.
Really interesting.
Then, like a nice controlling boyfriend, he flips on her. He lulled her into that false sense of security where she's happy, but really he was angry at her for something and jealous. And
wow.
Yeah, and that's when he's not paying attention and misses Batman after them, and that's how he gets supposed to catch him.
What?
That makes bro. That sounds a lot better.
Where Batman is like not you killed Robin or something, but he wants revenge.
Wow.
Of some sort. Again, I don't want to say exactly because I can't remember exactly because there's, like I say, there was so much coming in my brain.
All right, I don't want the rest of it spoiled, but you get the idea though. You get the idea of oh my god, there's a lot more stuff. We might cover this part later, because I want to do some other stuff, so we'll probably make this like a part 2 or part so on me. Alright. See, Haircut has less scenes but in similar length. Okay, Joker's. So I think I will watch.
You said there was a lot more like sort of like character development early on in the movie. Is there any sort of like backstory for Joker at all in the movie? Like the way that he's introduced, do we get any sort of like extended backstory for him?
He's already in prison. I think he's already in the asylum.
Oh,
he's already there. He's already a known criminal. Then obviously he escapes.
So very much established in the same sense that Batman is.
Yes.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was about to say. Go ahead.
They're already. It's in that world, and the Suicide Squad enters that universe, and that's how obviously, at the beginning he fancies Harley and wants her to be his girlfriend, but she's his doctor. And he makes her into his girlfriend.
He needs a machine gun.
It's hard because I want to say some things, but I'm really biting my tongue It
I have a question that
Go on.
might help you be able
Go on.
to expand on that. Okay, so I think we can all agree that Jared Leto's introduction from the Comic-Con trailer at the end was just like such a mic drop moment, but it's also so different than what we saw in the theatrical cut. I mean, the lighting is different, the performance is so much better. In the movie,
Yeah.
it's filmed like a TikTok video. All the impact is
Yeah.
taken out of it, right?
Yeah.
It's day and night. So my question to you is, what is another moment like that where it's like it's the same scene but it's completely reshot that you saw in the Ayer cut that you're like, this moment hits so much better than what we saw in the theatrical cut? It could be either more of Jared Leto's Joker, or it could be someone else completely. But
I
what
would
is like
say
the moment that sticks out to you?
there's the
That's a
relation.
great
There was
question.
more relationship
Great question.
with June and Flag.
Ah.
Much more. Much more. They, there's some love there. But I would say a bigger scene that it's almost like the lens in the theatrical goes like that, and you see who else is there in that scene, and it's the end scene where the Enchantress is doing that thing, and they all confront her, and because there's someone else with her.
Oh.
Okay, is it start with a J by chance?
Could be. Because don't forget, she's helping him if he helps her.
Wow.
Diablo lives, whereas in the theatrical, Diablo
Yeah,
unfortunately dies.
Yeah, that I think I can't remember the theatrical, but I remember Diablo's backstory was expanded, and you saw more of it, and it affected him more throughout the movie.
Because Harley really sort of taunts him about his backstory.
Who? Harley what?
Harley sort of like really taunts Diablo about his backstory, especially like when they're in the pub scene.
The pub scene's
because
different.
he killed his
The pub
family.
scene's much different.
Oh shit!
I think it might be in a slightly different position.
So he's confirming everything, like that I read. So yeah, so yeah, it's just a shame that this studio really butchered the fuck out of this movie. Like, and I really like I like the theatrical version for what they put, but it's clearly like, and I'm not saying like as in like I think it's the superior version or anything. It's just I like for what it was because I enjoyed the characters, but I knew there was much more to it that was missing because the thing that made me fall in love with this movie, or what made me fall in love with this movie is the trailer, the Comic-Con trailer, because I really loved the tone of what David Ayer was doing with these characters, and the fact that the studio just came in and just fucking fucked it all up like the way they did is very, it's very sad, man. Like, yeah, man, it's just it's fucking sad that they
hello there,
they fucked it all up like the way they did. Yeah, man, that's been my like that's been the I don't want to say update, but that's been the whole commotion. If you've been on Twitter and saw the release, the Ayer cut, that's been the whole thing going on. And so, if you're wondering why you should care about this movie or care about it being released, well, there it is. You should, if you care about an artist having their version and their artwork released, and shown justice, then you should support this. If you support the Snyder Cut, you should also support this. It's just sad, man. WB, like, and the thing is, WB has so many good movies, bro, but like, fuck, how they treat their directors and production crew it's not the way how production crews and their directors and all that should be. That's not how they should be handled, bro. Like, I don't understand why they did that. Well, I mean, yeah, I hear why, but I don't understand why. I don't understand why they I don't understand why they fucking. I don't understand why they did that, man. But if you're watching this on YouTube, because it's going on YouTube, hit that like button, bro. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let me see hashtag release the Ayer cut in the comments, bro. And go on Twitter and hit the hashtag release the Ayer cut and talk about how much you want the movie be released, because this is such a fucking shame, man, that they butchered the hell out of this movie, didn't test screen it, and then left all the blame on David Ayer, and when it was the studio's fault, like usual, like they did with BVS and Justice League. Fucking shame, man. Fucking shame.